You scroll past another celebrity breakup, another scandal, another meltdown, and you feel nothing. Not curiosity, not judgment, not even a flicker of interest. Everyone around you is talking about it, dissecting it, taking sides, but you genuinely don't care. And here's what bothers you most. You can't figure out why everyone else cares so much. What's actually happening in your brain that makes you immune to something that consumes millions of people every single day? The answer lies in a quiet corner of psychology that most people never think about. It's about how we build identity, how we seek validation, and where we place our sense of control. The people who don't obsess over celebrities aren't better or more enlightened. They've simply developed a different psychological framework, one that makes fame irrelevant to their sense of self. And once you understand how that works, you'll start to see your own patterns more clearly. Let's start with something called internal validation. Most of us are wired to seek proof that we matter from the outside world. Likes, approval, recognition. It's not weakness. It's biology. For thousands of years, humans survived by knowing where they stood in the tribe. Celebrity culture taps directly into that ancient wiring. It offers a template for what success looks like. But some people have developed what psychologists call self-concept clarity. They know who they are without needing external mirrors. Their identity isn't borrowed from someone else's highlight reel. They've built a sense of self that doesn't require constant comparison, and that creates a different kind of stability. This brings us to locus of control. People with an internal locus of control believe their outcomes are shaped by their own actions, not by luck or fate or famous people. They don't idolize celebrities because they don't believe external figures hold the keys to their happiness. They're not waiting for someone else to live the life they want to see. They're building it themselves. It's about where you place your attention. And once you internalize that, celebrity worship starts to feel like watching someone else's game. But understand this. The reason celebrity culture is so magnetic is rooted in something called parasocial relationships. These are one-sided emotional connections where fans feel close to someone who doesn't know they exist. For many, these relationships fill a real need. They offer belonging without vulnerability, connection without rejection. And there's nothing wrong with that. But people who don't engage in celebrity obsession tend to invest their emotional energy differently. They've recognized that these bonds, while comforting, don't offer the reciprocity that real relationships do. It's not judgment, it's intentionality. Another layer is the social comparison effect. Humans are wired to compare themselves to others. That's not going away. But here's the shift. People who don't obsess over celebrities tend to compare themselves to their past selves, not to strangers on a screen. They measure growth, not status. They're not asking, am I as successful as them? They're asking, am I better than I was last year? That shift in reference point changes everything. It removes envy. It removes desperation. It brings you back to your own path. And it makes the noise irrelevant. Finally, there's something deeper. These people often have a strong sense of meaning that comes from within. Psychologists call it intrinsic motivation. They're driven by curiosity, mastery, purpose, not by applause, not by trends, not by what's viral. Now, to be clear, not everyone who ignores celebrities has reached some Zen state. Some people are just too busy surviving. Others have niche obsessions that replace mainstream fame. But the ones who've made it intentional, who've consciously decided where their attention goes, they've unlocked something powerful. They don't need someone famous to tell them what matters because they've already decided for themselves. And yes, there's a trade-off. You might miss cultural references. You might feel out of sync at parties. But what you gain is focus. What you gain is energy that isn't drained by people who will never know your name. What you gain is the ability to build a life that's yours, not a reflection of someone else's. Not caring about celebrities isn't about being cold. It's about recognizing that your attention is finite and your inner world is precious. The people who understand that aren't disconnected from the world. They're just connected to something deeper. And that changes everything. Be honest, when was the moment you realized you stopped caring about celebrity drama? Drop it in the comments.